Hey everyone, this NHL Hockey News Sports. Hope you're enjoying your day today in this video. So today we are talking about the New York Rangers season preview for 2020-2021 season. So, before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Trying to hit 400 subs. Hope you enjoyed the thumbnails too I've been doing lately. And let's get right into it. So the New York Rangers have a very great, young, talented team. They really do, between the forwards, the defense, and the goaltending. Now let's get right into it here with the new additions. Now the new additions we have is, the biggest new addition is from the draft. First overall, from Canada, Quebec, Alexis Lafreniere. Now Alexis Lafreniere will have an instant impact on the New York Rangers. We'll talk about him a little bit later in the video. We start to talk about the forwards. So next is Kevin Rooney. He'll be a bottom six option. Also Jack Johnson, a third pairing option. Not the one I would care the most about having Jack Johnson. Kind of a little surprised why the Rangers did sign him. I felt like they could have signed maybe someone else out there. I really did. So like maybe Simi Vatanen, they could have saved the money for, even though they can't. They can still. They have the money. They really do. So I feel like they can. So that would be nice. But Colin Blackwell is another top bottom six forward you can have. He was from Nashville. And Keith Kincaid, he was from the Montreal Canadiens. Backup goalie, which was atrocious last year for the Montreal Canadiens. So as a Habs fan, I have to say I'm glad not to see him there, and I'm glad to see him with the Rangers, because goodbye. Of course, he's going to play in the Hartford Wolfpack, because you're not going to bump Shesterkin and Georgiev. It's just not going to happen. Unless they get injured, one of them, it's just not going to happen. It just doesn't. So, I would talk about the cap space in just one sec. I forgot to write it down, so let me write it down right this second. I want to write it down there, 4.8 million current cap space. So they still have a chance to sign a suitable player. Maybe a player on the forwards, maybe a player on the bottom third pairing. Maybe you get like a Simi Vatanen, Adam. That would be a nice addition for these New York Rangers for sure. So 4.8 million, that's a good amount. You can maybe spend 2 million, 3 million. It will give you still flexibility with the cap. For sure, 4.8 is great, great space to have left. All right, moving on to the forwards. Here we go. Panarin, what a fantastic season. That contract, he is living up already that first year, absolutely. Zibanejad, he keeps getting better every single year. And Buchnevich right on that right side, that's exactly what you want. Great lineup. That is your number one lineup. I know these are not lineups, official lineups, but that could potentially be your number one lineup. Next is Chris Kreider. What a great player. He has really earned that contract. Ryan Strome, right down the middle. He has definitely taken that basically for himself, because 51 points, definitely. They got him for a good price. And when he was with the Oilers, he had like 2 points in 18 games. But with the Islanders, when he was drafted by him, he had 51 points one year. It's just the Oilers, But then the Rangers brought him in. He played great. So 51 points. You got to give him 50 point season. You got to like it, because Strome is a good top six center for them. And they need him still. Despite this young core they have, they need to solidify that top six option. Especially on that second line role. They really want to push for a playoff spot. Also, Capo Caco, he had a down year, one of the worst rookies out there, but definitely, I feel like he's going to have a bounce back season, a big bounce back season. I don't think anyone's going to basically see this happen, this big bounce back season right now, but everyone's going to be super surprised, I feel like, with Capo Caco next year. The playoffs, that qualifying round, just saw something just great from him, for sure. Here we go. So we have Lafreniere. Right now, Lafreniere will be on that bottom six for now. Interesting what's going to happen. You have Panarin, you have Kreidel, and then you have Lafreniere. So interesting what's going to happen in the future with him making that top six. But Lafreniere, instant impact for sure. Great player. He can help out Hedel. That would be amazing. Hedel, Lafreniere, Lemieux. That would be great. It can help out Lemieux. It can help out Hedel at center. It can also help out himself, Alexis Lafreniere, getting that point. So we hope that would work. I think it will. That third line. Also, you have Giuseppe on the fourth line. Brett Howden and Gonthier. Blackwell, like I talked about. Rooney and Kravtsov. Kravtsov could make the lineup. Not sure. He might have to have another year in the Wolf Pack. That could be a potential thing. But, yeah. I do feel like he could make it, but might not. So we'll see. He might need some time in the Wolf Pack, but he also might get some time in the NHL to see what he's really made of. Alright, moving on to the defense now. Now on defense, we have is Brendan Smith. That $4 million contract, not the best. At least they got rid of the Mark Stahl contract with the Red Wings. That freed $5 million, so they can work with some things here. Jacob Trouba, they also signed that massive deal last year. He had a disappointing year, but I hope he does bounce back next year because that contract is going to sting him if he doesn't. So, hoping for a solid bounce back season for him. Ryan Lindgren, in that qualifying round of those 3 games, I was pretty impressed with him. I hope he hits that top 4 option for them. Tony DeAngelo, what a great top 4 defenseman for him. They just signed him to that big buck contract. Also, Jack Johnson, a guy with Pittsburgh, they're glad they got rid of him, bought him out, so goodbye, Jack Johnson. But the Rangers take him on for a year. Is that the greatest idea? No, but it's only for a year, so it's kind of harmless, basically it is. So it's not for many years, it's just for 1 year, so it's not going to hurt. Adam Fox, great young defenseman. He was picky before he went to the Rangers. He was with the Flames, and then he didn't want to play for the Flames. They're like, fine, trade him to the Hurricanes. He didn't want to play with the Hurricanes. They're like, fine, so the Hurricanes trade him to the Rangers. He finally signed his entry-level contract, and last year, he's got his rookie season. A really great rookie season for him. Underrated rookie. There was so many great rookies last year that he would definitely be underrated. Benito also is out there. He's probably a 7th defenseman. Matthew Robertson, I see him playing in the Wolfpack next year. And K-Andre Miller. Robinson and K-Andre Miller might get their feet back just a little in the NHL, just to give them some time. Maybe just a couple games here and there. Maybe the most 3 games for each of them for next year, just to get the feet back just a little to see how the NHL will be. And depending how the Wolfpack, if they do really well in the Wolfpack, it would probably be time to move them up. So, but I feel like they could use 1 year in the AHL, really get their feet wet in pro hockey for sure. Now in goal, they're really set. They absolutely are. You have Shesterkin and Georgiev. Those are just 2 solid goalies and one of the best goalie tandems, young goalie tandems, absolutely. Losing Lundqvist doesn't really hurt anymore because that heart condition they found out about. So buying him out, it does hurt, but he was a long time Ranger. He's probably gonna stay only a Ranger. I know he was gonna go to the Capitals, but I don't see him playing another game in the National Hockey League anymore, or suiting up for another hockey game. So he'll just be only a Ranger, Hendrik Lundqvist, even though he signed that Capitals contract. Also, Keith Kincaid, he'll be there. If you need him, you need him. He has some NHL experience for sure, many years in the NHL. So if you need him and you need someone, there you go. Huska's there too. Not saying that he'll play, but just give me some options on goal. Options you need. You need many options because defensemen, forwards, goaltending, they can get hurt. You need options, backups, not just a plan A. You need plan B, maybe plan C. So, yeah, I'll work with that for sure. So, this team is really solid. I have to say that top 6 is solidified great. Bottom six, not bad. Lafreniere in the future. I'm just saying, not now. I don't want to be picked down on this one, but one day Panarin or Kreider have to be moved on. Potentially Kreider, because Lafreniere's not going to stay in the bottom six role his whole career. He's going to just be amazing, and you're not going to be able to have that. Which in the future you'll trade Kreider one day probably, but just to put it out there, that could be a possibility just one day. I'm not saying now, couple years, maybe like 2 years, 3 years, but Lafreniere definitely is going to be worth its while to have him. It was like, without him, they're fantastic. With him, you're just adding another fantastic prospect to your team. Last year, 2019, I'm going to say instead, 2019, getting second overall, Capicaco. First overall in 2020, Lafreniere. What's better than that? To really get the rebuild amazing. And going to the 1920-20 season, we knew that the Rangers were like, wow, this is going to be great for them. And they still get the first overall pick. So look at that. They really expedite the rebuild and getting out of that rebuilding phase. It's time to get out of the rebuilding phase. It's time to make the playoffs. It's time to be a regular playoff team and soon a cup contender. So that's the idea. And soon after that, to be a Stanley Cup champion and to have 5 Stanley Cups and have the Islanders have 4. So that's probably their goal. One day to get to that, and I feel like they can. And really, right now, they're down that path. They're on the right path right now, for sure. So the forwards, top 6, bottom 6, not bad. Top 4, bottom 4, okay on defense, not bad. On the left side, could be worked on. Maybe you got Timmy Vatanen, like I said. Could be an option for sure. In goal, all set. We don't have to talk about that anymore. So, 4.8 million, you can still have that. And you still have some really solid players out there that you can go for. So we'll see how that goes, right? So thanks for watching. Like the video, do the bell, comment, share. Let me know in the comments below what you think about my thumbnails too lately. And let's try to hit 400 subs. Be much appreciated. See you next video. It's NHL Sports. Goodbye.